Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to change a percent into a decimal. Now, let's say that you have, for example, 13%. All you have to do is take the number, put a decimal point to its right, if there's no decimal point, of course, and move it 2 times, always 2, not once, not 3, always 2 times to the left. 1, 2. Your final answer is 0.13. And sometimes you can put a 0 here, it doesn't matter, so 0.13, same thing. Let's look at another example. Let's say that you have 120%. Again, you take the number, you put a decimal point to its right, all the way to its right, and move it how many times? 2 times to its left, to the left. 1, 2. So now your answer is 1 point, because the decimal point is no longer there, now it's there, so it's 1.20, which means the same thing as 1.2, because a 0 all the way after a decimal point, all the way at the end of a decimal point doesn't count. You can get rid of it, so it's 1.2. Let's look at a more complicated example. Let's say that you have 16 over 2/3%, and you want to change this into a decimal. Now this one, it's a little bit hard to just take this one and move the decimal. Why? Because there's a fraction here, so it's a problem. So what I want you to do is, I want you to change that fraction here, that mixed number, into a decimal first. Forget about the percent, because the percent is what allows you to move it 2 times to the left. So what you're going to do is, you're going to divide this first and change it into a decimal. Forget about the 16 if you want. So you have 2/3, and you're going to divide it. So how do we divide again? This one goes on the outside, and this one goes on the inside. Inside, outside. How many times 3 goes into 2? 3 is too big to go into 2. So how many times 3 goes into 2? 0 times. 0 times 3 is 0. 2 take away 0 is 2. There's nothing here, so you put a decimal point, kick it up, put your own 0, and bring it down. Times 3 goes into 20, 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. 20 take away 18 is 2. And if you want, you can bring down another 0 and do the same thing. How many times 3 goes into 20? 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. And then you still have a remainder of 2. And technically, this looks like a repeating decimal, they call it. So it's like 0.66, 0.6666. So first, you take this and you change it into a decimal. The 16 was already there, but the 2/3 is the one that you change to 0.66. All you do is you add 0.66 to this, or you just put the decimal part of it, because this is the decimal part of it and this is the number. So this becomes 16.66. Then what was the next step? Now that you have that decimal here, the next step was to take the percentage here. Because of the percentage, you have to move the decimal how many times? 2 times to the left. So 1, 2. So it's 0.1666 repeating. And then luckily here, they asked us to round it to the nearest tenth. Nearest tenth. So this is tenth. That's the number we're interested in. You look to its right. The number to its right is bigger than 5, which it is, because it's a 6, it's bigger than 5. You will add 1 to this number here. Add 1 to it. So it becomes 0.2, and you will drop what's to its right. So your final answer is 0.2 or 0.2. It means the same thing. Let's look at one last example. Let's say that you have 0.5%. Again, you take the number, you write it down, and you take the decimal point and you move it 2 times to the left. 1, 2. In any empty spot, you change it, you put a 0 there, you fill it in with a 0. Your final answer is 0.005. Again, you can put a 0 here if you want, it doesn't matter. So that's your final answer. Thanks for watching and make sure you practice. Bye.